What up, though? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about a comparison that's been everywhere. DJ Akademiks, and why he reminds people of MC Gusto from the movie CB4. Yeah, you heard that right. If you know that character, a rapper who faked street credibility and blew up using someone else's persona, you're going to see where this is headed. If you rock with real hip-hop breakdowns, culture talk, and keeping it 100, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, smash that like button and hit that bell so you don't miss any future heat. Alright, let's break it down. DJ Akademiks came up from forums, built himself into a huge hip-hop news commentator, and became one of the biggest online voices in culture reporting. He's this figure that's trusted by a lot of people, yet questioned by just as many. But here's the thing though, unlike actual rappers, hustlers, or street figures who live what they talk about, many critics say Akademiks' street image exists mostly online, behind the screen, just like a fictional character or a cartoon or something. Now that's where the MC Gusto comparison comes in. A comedic character who rap about street life he didn't live, rode someone else's wave, then blew up.
Look at this punk, he's walking like me, he's dressed like me, he's trying to be me.
A lot of folks say Akademiks function like a culture vulture, not just a commentator, a guy who feeds off the raw moments in hip-hop and sensationalizes them. For example, streams and beef coverage. He himself admitted modern hip-hop media doesn't shape trends anymore, it just chases what's already blowing up. He said media outlets chase clicks and attention because that's where the bag is, even if it keeps repeating the same stories forever. Samplings of Drake's verse Kendrick, that was the most lucrative time of his career, so he said.
You're gonna get people or companies talking about the things that they already know fans want. They're not feeding fans stuff. They might like bring new information to light, but they're leading into things fans are already interested in. Now, during the rap beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, it was the gift that kept on giving. We saw record numbers, in my 15 years of doing YouTube, it was the most lucrative time. So you know what usually happens? If that's for me, it's for everyone else. It's a trickle-down effect. Everybody else is in media. So you know what usually happens? People stay in that moment. You're going to keep eating off the corpse of that thing that gets you the most amount of revenue. Why? You're just feeding the fans what they want.
Now imagine that. Profiting off conflict instead of cultivating culture. That's very MC Gusto-like, right? Now let's talk about some of the bigger controversies that show its approach. He said older rappers are dusty and spark backlash from hip-hop pioneers like LL Cool J, who remind him that money don't define contribution to culture. This wasn't some quiet disagreement, it became headline news.
The business that these newer artists that y'all all call dumb, oh, they're ignorant, they don't know whatever. I feel my podcast has taught hip-hop artists more about the game of the music business than any of you niggas. Y'all never passed the ball. Y'all took y'all money and y'all ran with it. Y'all never educated people. Our pioneers have failed us. When I say y'all are dusty, 21 Savage is in a deal where he's 50-50 with his label. None of y'all can say that. Youngboy just got a new deal where he owns all his masters, getting a wild amount of advance. None of y'all can say that. I talk about labels doing this, labels doing that. How y'all been getting in contracts for 30 years? And the same way you got in the 90s, you let get in the 2010s. How could I respect you? Def Jam been giving the same deals for 30 years. Y'all never did nothing. They ran a gambit on everybody in hip-hop. They did 360 deals. They did everything. You know why? Because they know you wasn't doing shit.
It came to my attention. It came to my attention that a DJ, and I'm not going to say any names because I don't think it's necessary. A DJ basically said that, you know, a lot of the pioneers in hip hop are, you know, they're dusty, or how can they be the person that, you know, invented hip hop if, you know, they don't have a lot of money. Or if they don't look or represent like they have a lot of dough, right? Let me explain something to you and say this for you guys. Don't confuse someone's ability to develop a business model. Don't conflate. In other words, don't think just because somebody knows how to get money or fails to get money that they didn't make a contribution to the culture. No one discusses Miles Davis's bank account. We don't talk about John Coltrane's bank account. We don't talk about a lot of even rock musicians, a lot of them. We don't talk about their bank accounts. A lot of great country artists, we don't talk about their bank accounts. This idea that you have to have money or else you don't have any value is a bad idea, and it's kind of like, it's a misinformed way of looking at the world and the culture. There are artists out here. First of all, let me say this. First of all, like, let's talk about like young artists, right? Who I love. I love the young artists. Let's be clear. I'm very much a guy who embraces the young artists. I believe in every generation. I believe in you. I care about you. Let me say this to you though. Today, you could come up with your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, your 20-year plan. You can go find a manager. You can find an accountant. You could find somebody that means something to you, to help you. You could find a team to help your career go to the next level. When hip hop first started, there were no managers. There were no accountants that believed in it. Record companies didn't even believe in it.
Then there's the time when he clapped back at critics like Michael Rappaport, who threw serious shade and called him out as a joke in hip-hop media.
Yo, I'm not gonna be as polite as the great LL Cool J, Russell Simmons, anybody else that's spoken on this bum-ass clown, dusty, dirty, bum-ass, short, fat, bloated, goofy, no talent, little shit academics, disrespecting the people that built hip-hop, that made the hip-hop, because you think they're not, I don't know what you think. First of all, you're not a DJ, all right? You don't cut, you don't scratch, you don't produce. You're not a DJ, so stop calling yourself DJ. Second of all, anybody that has anything to do with hip-hop, new, old, never done it before, trying to... This dude, for him to disrespect the people that built this shit, that built hip-hop, that changed every single thing, shut this dude down. Goofy clown, no talented, no skill set, no nothing. Talking about if you're broke, you're a joke, man. You're a fucking joke. Making money off of hip-hop, and you have nothing, you have no skill set in hip-hop. Shut this bozo goofball down, Akademiks. Fuck out of here.
Also, there's been beef with artists and YouTubers alike, including situations where he was called the hypocrite for sensationalizing tragedy and profiting off it. Take the Vic Mensa situation. The issue between Vic Mensa and DJ Akademiks was about his reports of the Chicago drill scene. Mensa felt that Akademiks' War and Shot Rack channel made light of the violence in Chicago, while Akademiks felt he had the right to report on what was happening.
Out of Chicago, that's all. Do you feel drill is like done? Because you also mentioned that you felt you were a little bit repulsed by the fact that so many people outside the culture of Chicago, they hyped up the music, not knowing that real lives were being affected, deaths and other type of madness happened within the music, and the music was a real life depiction of that. Like, how did you feel about that?
I wanted to slap you in your face, honestly. And I'm just seeing you here, so I'm like, this is a tame environment, so I would keep it to my words, but I really felt as if people exactly like you sensationalized and made a following off of clowning situations that we go through in real life. And I think, ain't had no right. You specifically, like, you ain't never have a right. Like, whatever made you feel like you had a space to have a perspective on our people dying on a daily basis?
So when I saw drill, and you could definitely chime in. When I saw drill was so hyped up by everyone. I had to give a different perspective of what that was for people to realize that's not cool. And whether you agreed with it, right? And again, you're very close, you're involved in it. Chief Keef didn't like me, Dirt didn't like me. I mean, I think they grew to understand that the content was not just negative, right?
No, it was clowny. It was just negative, man.
No.
Like, come on, boy.
You don't think it was nothing constructive about it?
There was nothing constructive about it. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I really think you because
in what sense?
Because there's a video that you put up about a person named Trey 57 making all these jokes. Oh, here's another Chirac Savage. Like, this guy's stupid and he messed with the Grim Reaper. Like, this is not a video game. That's what I grew up with. I've known since I was 5 years old. And to see you come on the internet and, like, with this corny ass little voice and make jokes about it, like, I was waiting to see you. And it's a couple people waiting to see you. I heard you say you didn't want to come to Chicago when I sat down, because you clearly don't, because you really couldn't even stand outside.
These ain't just moments of opinion. They define how he engages with culture and controversy, sometimes deeper than music itself. If you don't know MC Gusto from CB4, imagine a charismatic, flashy character who leans in the street persona that's questionable, uses conflicts and image to rise to fame, doesn't necessarily live the life he portrays, becomes popular because he sells the image, not the reality. That's the exact critique fans make of Akademiks today. He's the mouthpiece, not the muscle. He's the headphone commentator, not the street veteran. And people feel he acts tough online, but never been in the trenches like the artists he talk about. Take the Lil Baby situation. He wants to get in the ring with Lil Baby because someone else from his team slapped him. Well, why didn't you fight that? Then talks gangster and say he wants to catch the fade with Lil Baby. Well, Chief, you had the chance to get one to his entourage, sir.
Cause baby, if you got a problem with me, don't tell your mans you squashing it with me. Don't get on the phone right away. I'll squabble up with you anywhere, anytime. You ducked it, and then you had your ass assistant. I'll squabble with you anytime. You scrawny as you a addict. Stupid as what up? I've been on that. You DM me. You DM me where you at. I DM you where I'm gonna be at. You never showed yourself trolling. I will watch you anywhere. Facts. But we squashed it because Rod Wave is a mutual of ours. But don't fake squash it and say your ass drawers holder to ever do nothing. So when I called you in the morning and I said, bro, you did that? And baby, you gotta respond. I don't make this loud. You gotta respond to this.
Some fans still love his coverage, find him funny, or see him as a big part of hip-hop reporting. There's even voices online who say he used stories for content but wasn't there for the actual communities, just observing and narrating from a distance. And remember, that's exactly what MC Gusto did in the film, a persona built on image and media traction, not lived experience.
Next call.
Okay, I got a question for this so-called Gusto. If you set someone up for the police, then stole his name, didn't even say excuse me, wouldn't you expect the injured party to bust out of jail, hunt you down, and beat you like the dog that you are?
So the question is, why did this matter? Because hip-hop culture is supposed to be rooted in real life, real struggles, real stories. When someone becomes a central commentator, shaping narratives, explaining beefs, and influencing what millions think, people expect authenticity. MC Gusto was the satire, a joke in a movie about a fake rapper who exploited an authentic culture. But when fans start comparing a real figure like DJ Akademiks to that tells you something. And today, we're asking the question, is DJ Akademiks a reflection of hip-hop media's weakness, or still an important voice in the culture? Drop your thoughts below. I appreciate you locking into the channel. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss Pin the Heat. I go deep with context so you can understand the culture, not just watch it. Stay locked into the next video.